Hello, my Rosalins and Rosikins. Mother is back, and that was the sound of the door being opened. This video is going to get really, really fucking deep. And I want to say that some of you might hate me after this, some of you might adore me even more. Who knows? But these are some things that I have literally been wrestling with for like the past a couple of days and actually like a week, and it's been really heavy on my heart. So as you know, my video has the title that it has, and the video is titled Dear Unambiguous Black Women and Exoticals, and this includes brown / dark skin exoticals, exotic black women, and lighter skin exoticals, from all parts of the world, etc., and all racial mixes and backgrounds and admixtures, etc. Your problem is subjective beauty, slave beauty, mindset, and hierarchy beauty. And those are three big things that I believe are holding back both unambiguous black women and exoticals alike. And it took me quite some time. It took me quite some time to really think about what is the issue, especially after I had revealed myself on my channel. It took me quite some time to really have to come to terms with what I'm about to say. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about though is the house slave beauty mentality. And then I'm going to get into the field slave beauty mentality. And this covers the slave beauty mindset portion of what is the problem with both said communities and both said beauty perspectives. Okay, so for the house slave beauty mentality, I was thinking about exoticals. I was thinking about exoticals. I was, of all shades, all backgrounds, all everything. And also exotic black women. And I was thinking about how, especially when you're in the United States of America, the history of racism in this country, the history of slavery in this country, and also the birth of the, I guess you could say, mixed race, to the extent and the impact it had during those times. Because mixed people have always been here, right? They have always existed for forever, because racial mixing has going on since forever. However, or you should say exoticals have been here for forever. Exoticals have been here since forever. um, but when I say this, what I'm about to say, I was thinking about the history of this country and why some, not every, and this is always going to apply to some. If it doesn't apply to you, you can just do whatever you want with that. But this is for some exoticals and how they view their beauty. And I don't know. I was just thinking. So I'm speaking from the perspective of a house slave and the beauty mentality that she would have. Again, this is just what I would think is the root of the issue. Here we go. I'm better than the field one because I have a proximity to whiteness and otherness, due to colonization also being overtaken and having a more European or otherness adjacent beauty. I'm put on a pedestal, and anyone who looks black, even if they're mixed or even if they have the same pedalization, is delusional because they need to have my beauty phenotype to be in the house. I'm pretty, and the field slaves aren't because they aren't in the house. They aren't praised like I am. I embody the true beauty of a woman. But truthfully, I feel dehumanized, unprotected, and objectified, only viewed and praised for the beauty I bring, not the woman I am. So, as you can see here, in my example of having a house slave beauty mentality for some exoticals, whew, Lord help me. It's the fact that some exoticals literally feel that they are beautiful simply because they have a proximity to whiteness or otherness, not because they just genuinely are pretty. but because of their racial mixes and backgrounds. And even for some exoticals, admixtures or just their phenotype looking closer to the praised, again, European standard beauty, otherness standard of beauty that's accepted worldwide, their ambiguity. And I want to say the only issue I would have with this is that some of them do think that they're better than black women and unambiguous black women and anything that has brown skin and looks anything close to blackness because of this. And that is not okay. That is that is not okay. Honey, you should feel like you're that bitch because you are that bitch, not because you have a beauty type that mirrors the colonizer, right? Or look closer to the colonizer than those who have been oppressed in this country in that retrospect, or that you feel is at the bottom. I'm just saying, I want you to know that you don't have to have a house slave beauty mentality. You don't have to shun anything that looks like blackness because you feel and believe, and most likely are put on a pedestal because of your phenotype. Your phenotype is gorgeous. There's no denying you're a beautiful woman, but you don't have to have this mentality. My advice to you would be let your beauty speak for itself. And again, if it does not apply to you, let it fly because I know all exoticals are not like this. All exoticals don't have this jaded perspective of their beauty. But I'm not going to lie and say that there aren't some. And I'm going to get more into that later. Let's talk about the field slave beauty mentality. The field slave beauty mentality. I am ugly. I'm not enough. I don't get pedestalized like the massa looking girls. Hashtag exoticals. They're only pedestalized because they are lighter skinned and mixed and or ambiguous. Not because they are pretty. I am better though because I actually bring profit to Massa in the big house. Massa tells me I'm a good worker and breeder. I embody the true labor of a woman. Sure, I'm outside working in the hot sun, but I'm valuable for more than beauty. I believe I'm beautiful, but since I'm not in the big house, I'm not viewed as pretty. But truthfully, I feel dehumanized, unprotected, and objectified, only viewed and praised for the value I bring, not the woman I am. So that is the field slave beauty mentality, which I believe represents a lot of unambiguous black women and how they feel that they are at the bottom because they do not have the phenotype or the pedestal to go with it of exoticals. And, the European beauty, I guess you could say, phenotype that's praised around the world and the otherness that's praised around the world. They don't feel that they are enough. They literally lean on to other parts of their womanhood besides their beauty to compensate for the fact that they are not pedestalized. And they also hate on the exoticals that are inside of the house. But it's not lost to me the exoticals feel they're better because they're in the house, which is the irony is that they're both slaves just from different parts of the plantation. And I just find that very interesting. And as if you were paying attention, I literally broke down that last part for both of them. And they both feel dehumanized, unprotected, and objectified. So they're both going to cling on to what privilege or strength they feel they have in that scenario. For exoticals in this case that have this colonized mindset, it's their otherness, it's their pedestal. For field, like unambiguous black women that have this mindset, the field slave, beauty mentality, it's their work ethic. It's other things that they bring, the profit, how great they are at being domesticated to a certain extent, and how they can be pick me's because they want to prove their worth as women and overcompensate because they don't feel like they have beauty, right? And so I want to say for both of them, here's the gag for unambiguous black women, some unambiguous black women, again, some for some exoticals as well, and for some exoticals. The gag is you are beautiful and valuable. You don't need to feel that you have to overcompensate with work ethic and letting people walk over you, being a pick me, right? You don't have to overcompensate with letting people like boost your ego because you look more than blackness or because you feel that way, or that you feel that you're in a better position than other women who don't get praised as much for their beauty, right? You both should feel beautiful because you are you. You are created, wonderfully made. You are gorgeous. Your phenotype the beautiful light skin that you have, the beautiful light eyes, looser hair, curls, and all that. It's beautiful, and you're wearing it, and you're gorgeous, and your body is created like that, and you are gorgeous, and you don't need to feel beautiful because you feel that you have a one up on another group of women in society, especially a group of women that, for better and for worse, is still part of your bloodline or adjacent to it, right? Just saying. And for unabased black women, you don't have to feel that because somebody else is getting praised that you're ugly, because another type of beauty is more accepted around the world, that you're lacking, and that you have to overcompensate with other things where it becomes traumatic to the point, right? Or that you give up on your beauty overall and you just be a hater. You don't have to do that because you're beautiful with your darker brown skin, kinkier hair, Afrocentric features. The beauty of both these groups of women. For me personally, outsider looking in that can relate to both sides to a certain degree, is that you both are amazing. You're beautiful, you're resourceful, you're educated, you're intelligent, you're sassy as hell. You're always reading people for filth, honey. I think it's just the blackness in all of us. But you're amazing. There is no need, no competition, no need to assert your beauty over another. Just accept who you are, what you bring, as in your beautiful self, and do what you want with that. But those are the mentalities that I believe each community, some people in that community that have a lot of voice sometimes, that speak their minds sometimes, kind of have, and they pedestalize their beauty based off of that, or they try to overcompensate for other parts of their womanhood because they don't feel beautiful enough. And I want to also say that for the subjective beauty problem that I mentioned in the title, the exoticals and unambiguous black women, the problem isn't objective beauty, it's subjective beauty. Okay? Some black women, you believe that because you don't have a proximity to the European and otherness pedestalization of beauty that you're ugly. That's a problem. And also some exoticals, your problem is that you do believe your beauty is better than some unambiguous black women because you have a proximity to European and otherness pedestalization of beauty. Basically, what Mother is realizing is now more than ever, because for me, pretty is pretty. I realized this. And unambiguous black women imitate mixed women with melanated skin, hashtag brown, such dark skin exoticals, and exotic black women, which is what my channel is about, right? Because it's the closest they can get to being pedestalized according to the beauty phenotype that is the subjective beauty acceptance or bar. And when I say subjectivity, I mean that your problem, unambiguous black women, is that you're conflating your objective beauty with a subjective beauty that's accepted. No, don't do that shit. And I was thinking very hard about this because I was like, so objectively speaking, because remember I told you I was dabbling in AI and stuff, right? And examples is for you too. I would dive into AI. I was asking objective beauty questions, looks, maxing, etc., analyzing your face, etc. And objectively, I'm pretty. I really am. But the point is that I was wondering, and I was doing some soul searching because, recently things that had gone down within like my own self perception, seeking that validation from other beautiful exotical women, and having to come to terms with that, I have to validate myself. Why do I keep questioning my beauty? Well, let me see. I was questioning my beauty because I realized that in certain environments, even in the exotical community, my beauty type is not put on the same pedestal as another's beauty type. And so I was literally comparing objectivity to subjectivity and wondering, what the fuck's wrong with me? Am I not beautiful enough? Like, why is so and so getting all this attention I'm not, right? Why is but they swear I'm pretty to them, right? Why is so and so more praised, right? Why is so and so more pushed to the center, especially within the exotic community? Because I mentioned this before, MGM, etc., mixed women. It was made for them. But the beauty of Exoticals United, I was going to say this, is that she shine a light on brown to dark skin exoticals. Women who are black passing, and black passing can literally mean black passing, like they're actually mixed, but they look more black, or they're monoracial like me have admixture, but have had occurrences where someone has tried to other them because of their beauty and their phenotype. So my thing is that as a brown to dark skinned exotical, exotic black woman, like I always say, I was realizing that even within exotical sphere, it's a subjective type of looking phenotype that is more accepted than others. Then I got to thinking about certain exotical channels that are springing up, where it's giving like golden spear, or as you could say, oh, we only want light and bright. If your hair texture is not this, you can't be exotical. If your skin tone isn't this, you can't be exotical. If you do this, you can't be exotical. And all these different regulations about what do we consider exotical. I just want to say once and for all, exotical is a term. It's not a race. It's not ethnicity. It's not none of that. It utilizes those characteristics to evaluate your experiences or add to um, your ambiguity. But that is not a requirement. And that is the beauty of understanding exactly who you really are and how the world perceives you, yes, but also the privileges that come with your beauty phenotype. Whether you're exotical or not. But I'm talking about the exotical space specifically. And I'm going to say some. Not all exoticals does this apply to. I have beautiful exotic women in my life, honey, that are light, bright, and thriving. And they do not have anything to do with what I have realized. It's actually women like them that have shown me that just because you're exotical doesn't mean you have to be a bitch, okay? It can also mean that you can praise other phenotypes outside of your own beauty phenotype and subjective beauty preferences and still be a queen. And that's what they've done for me and to me. So shout out to you, my exotical allies and sisters. I love you. Anyway, moving on. So, but I realized that. And I was just thinking, damn, if sometimes I'm feeling this way, I can only imagine how unambiguous black women feel because, goddamn it, hell, they must really be going through it. And I've come to the term now that your problem, unambiguous black women, is that you're conflating someone's subjective view of your beauty with your objective beauty. Meaning, you're taking someone's opinion of how they rank beauty, the hierarchy of beauty, and their perspective, and even the world's, and basically saying, because I'm not at the top, I'm at the fucking bottom. And you got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. And this is why I'm going to go in, okay? Just because so and so prefers, what do you guys say? The preferences. The preferences. Okay, so what? Their preference. Cool. Doesn't mean you're not a bad bitch, does it? Huh. Last time I checked, because someone else has a phenotype that looks more mixed or ambiguous to others or more exotic, quote unquote, or exotical, doesn't mean that I'm less pretty. It means they prefer that type of beauty, but doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that I don't have any beauty, right? It doesn't mean that I'm lacking beauty. It means that they have a favorite type. The type, I ain't got no type, but they got type, right? They got a favorite type that's not me. And I've said on my channel before, what does it matter? You're in the pretty girl club. You're a Rosalind. Fuck doesn't matter. What does it matter if we're beautiful, sexy, drop that gorgeous, exotical sisters that are lighter skin or have a more mixed phenotype, quote unquote, are getting more attention? Last time I checked, you're still in the club too. You're still in the gold squad. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of beautiful ass women, unambiguous black women, exotic, what did I say? Exotic black women, brown to dark skin exoticals, and exoticals just of lighter skin tone, etc. They're over here. We're all losing our minds over this shit. We're all, oh my god, am I exotical enough? Am I the biggest black woman? Am I pretty? Am I cute? Am I this? Am I that? All because of the world's perception and what they choose at the end of the day. Honey, you're a bad bitch if you're a bad bitch. Okay? You're in the pretty girl club. And unambiguous black woman, you need to stop making your low self-esteem everyone's problem. Okay? In exoticals, you need to stop conflating your otherness and your ambiguity to the only reason that you want to take on the beauty conversation, because there are exoticals, I'm gonna just keep it a buck, that actually do look like me, that are mixed. And I would hope that they will understand they're beautiful because they're just beautiful. they have objective beauty, and even if they're not subjectively ranked high, and when I say that I mean not preferred more than another type of woman or racial group of women, that they are still bad bitches. And so are you. And I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say so far is that unambiguous black women, exoticals of all ranges of skin tone, and exotic black women, we need to take our power back. Understanding that objectively, if you're pretty, you're pretty. And you go from there. You can experiment. You can try different hair textures. You can try different makeup looks. You can try different fashions. You can do whatever you want with your beauty and to your body that you want to do to insinuate what beauty type or archetype or phenotype you're trying to enhance or go for. But understand that whether someone's saying, oh, yeah, I like you more or I like you more, it doesn't matter. You're still a bad bitch, right? And therefore, you don't have to shit on other bad bitches because you understand that the bad bitch university is always enrolling. Amen. Amen. So, what I realized that when I showed my face, that I wasn't only attacked by the gaslighting of unambiguous black women, but also some exoticals. And I realized I'm too black looking for some exoticals, but I'm also too average looking for unambiguous black women. Sorry. But my experiences mirror one group more than the other. And I'm going to go, and you could guess, exoticals. It just mirrors it more. As a collective, because they're put on a pedestal, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But what's funny to me is that I know I'm not an average woman, and they will call anybody fucking mid at this point. So I'm not really phased at all by that at this point. But what I realize is that I only thought unambiguous black women had self-hate. But what I'm starting to realize is that some exoticals do too. And they feel that any traits, both unambiguous black women, some of them, and some exoticals feel that any traits that point to blackness is not to be pedestalized. And it goes back to the slave mentality for both groups, the field and house slave beauty mindset. And I was realizing that. I was like, whoa, hold up. I literally only thought it was an unambiguous black woman's issue. But I'm seeing some exoticals literally clown me because I'm a beautiful black looking woman and a beautiful black woman. But I have some ambiguity to my beauty, and people have asked. But my question is, why am I being discredited now that you see what I look like, even though I already told you what I look like before I even showed my face? Or my hair, or anything else, my skin tone, all that. I already told everyone what I look like. I have nothing to hide. So, what I found very interesting is that I realized, man, oh, I'm going to tell you, I felt so discouraged and truly judged and sad by the realization that some exoticals are truly colorist and featurist because I've never come across any of them to my knowledge with the ones that I have met and that I have spoken to because they were so accepting of me. And, this was through Exoticals United, where I first heard her content, and then she created her community, her discords, her videos, her community tabs, all that, where we could all come together and share our experiences. And I wasn't being attacked. And if someone did feel that way, they never said it to me. But then when I started reaching out to other Exotical channels that I didn't really know, like, I guess what they were really about or how they would target me or see me, and then I showed myself, it was like, oh, you're talking about exotical shit? You don't even qualify to talk about exotical shit. And then I was wondering, well, why don't I? I literally have some of the same experiences as you, literally verbatim. I am a pretty girl. I have admixture. I understand my racial background, etc. And I'm pretty as fuck. And I have been othered. I have been asked. So why wouldn't I count? I have ambiguity. Well, it's because of that very sentiment. I'm too black looking to them. And for that, I say that is a you issue. That is your subjective beauty standard, not mine. And for some exoticals, it's like if you aren't that kind of exotical, like the poster child for what a mixed woman is supposed to look like, then you're not in the exotical community. You can't be. Impossible. You poser, like type of energy. Like what the fuck? Anyway. And I also realized, and this was the really devastating thing, then my channel is more needed than fucking ever. Now that I realize it, to be quite honest. Because not only are brown cis dark skin exoticals and exotic black women being attacked by unambiguous black women, but some of the same women that are in the same community as us feel that we are too black for them, too black looking, right? Too field looking. And that hurt. I'm gonna be honest, it hurt. It was very discouraging. I was like, well, fuck it. Like, what should I do now? Like, okay. And I had to realize that, okay, some examples feel this way, but who the fuck are you? And then I was like, well, I'm mother. And one thing I'm gonna do, if I do nothing else, is root for the fucking underdog. And if you wanna make blackness at the bottom because you have self black hate and you feel that because you have proximity to otherness and whiteness that you're a better exotical than other black passing exoticals, then you got me fucked up, respectfully and disrespectfully. Because you're not gonna sit here and clown on a beautiful melanated woman's beauty. And you're not gonna, at least I hope I won't let you, and maybe I could change your mind, just conflate your beauty to looking like massa. You're beautiful because you're beautiful. It's way deeper and way more divine than just the fact that you happen to mirror the same features of said colonizers, respectfully. I would hope you find beauty in you because of the people in your family, not because of just the status it gives you, because you fit more of the subjective world beauty standard. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But I realized that there are mixed women who look like me. I've encountered a few, yeah, I have, where some would discredit their heritage because of their phenotype not being mixed enough. And that's why I create this channel. Okay? Hashtag not fair. And for exoticals who don't accept them, your black hate is showing. And I've never known. Here we go. A truly beautiful, pretty ass, gorgeous ass fucking baddie woman that's an exotical that has discredited someone's objective beauty because of their subjective beauty bias. I've never, ever met an exotical who said, yeah, bitch, you look too black for me. You got to go. We only accept this type of exotical. And she was bad. No, no, no. The only ones that have ever encountered that you just know that's a bad bitch. I ain't got to see her face. I know she is. Because she's not threatened nor diminishes the beauty of other women who are also exoticals or exotic adjacent and that have melanated skin and more Afrocentric features. She praises them. And a great example of that is Exoticals United. I'm sorry. I don't have to see her to know that she is a very gorgeous woman. I know this because real bad bitches don't put down real bad bitches. I don't see Beyonce coming at Kelly Rowland's throat, telling her, girl, you always trying to imitate me and you ain't that bad, etc., etc. I don't see that shit. I see her loving Kelly, even when Kelly's insecure as fuck. And we can all agree, she got her insecurities. She's even said it, right? But I always see Beyonce supporting her sister. And even when Kelly be feeling like she is not the shit, she still shows up to support Beyonce, even when she feels that she conflates her objective beauty to her subjective beauty, right? The subjective beauty standard, where Beyonce would be more accepted because she's more marketable. She has a lot of ambiguity. Kelly has less. Kelly is gorgeous too, but there are different. I guess there's a hierarchy within the subjectivity beauty, and it downplays and messes with a lot of, I would say, more Afrocentric leaning women's beauty and mindset about their beauty because they know they're beautiful for the pretty ones, right? I'm not talking about the ones that swear, oh, I'm a dime piece when she's like a 5 piece. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actual gorgeous black women. They're mentally fucked up because of this. So I'm also going to mention that again. I'm not mixed. I do have admixtures and I do have ambiguity, and I'm proud of that. I'll never truly know the plights entirely of unambiguous black women or exoticals on that sphere of looking mixed, quote unquote, in the sense of, oh, you have more of the Eurocentric beauty standard or more of the otherness beauty standard to that extent. But I know my own experiences, which are a blend of both. Being I have the pretty girl plights, beauty fluidity, and pedestalization of exoticals, as well as ancestral black beauty, melanated skin, and regalness of my blackness from the unambiguous black community. I embrace my blackness and my ambiguity to the fullest. I take pride in being an exotic black woman and will continue until the day that I die. Bottom line, exoticals of all shades and unambiguous black women and exotic black women are all gorgeous. If you're objectively attractive, beautiful within these groups, then you are a beauty standard, period. And just because one is preferred most or more in any scenario or society, subjectively does not diminish your beauty and experiences objectively. We don't have to have a hierarchy. We don't have to have a queen bee. We are all queens within our own thrones and kingdoms. We rule our own unique beauty phenotypes and sectors. We all have our own privileges, whether you can see it or not. And we all have to be the best, beautiful women we can be. And we all need to remember, we aren't the prettiest. Hell no, you're not the prettiest. I'm gonna let you just know right now. But, or sorry, or the most beautiful. You're not that either, honey. You're not, no. We are one of the prettiest and one of the fairest of them all. Because for me to sit here and say, oh, you the baddest, is just disingenuous when there are a plethora of baddies within the sector and within the world. Now, is the average woman like a baddie? Hell no. We know this. But if you're a baddie, you're a baddie. But you do not stand alone. I am sorry to remind you, but there are other beautiful women as well. No matter your beauty phenotype or sector within all these different, types of women that I'm talking about in this video. Okay, we all have traumas and need to heal. We all have strengths that need to be praised, weaknesses that need to be protected. We can be our sister's protectors, but first we have to self examine our hearts and minds and our own beauty and appreciate it. This message isn't for insecure gaslighting women. It isn't for average or ugly women. It's for beautiful and pretty women within all these sectors that all have a foot in the black community. Again, if you are an average or unattractive or ugly ass woman, whether you're an exotical, ambiguous black woman, etc., brown skin, dark skin, exotical, Jesus Christ, and a whole nother race. I don't care. If you're an ugly woman, you're not going to be able to handle this truth. At least I don't think so, because it doesn't apply to you. You would have neither objective beauty or subjective beauty at that point. This is for women who actually are bad as hell. I'm talking about women, and I'm going to get into this, who are actually pretty and above, or pretty that can go to more. Like their baseline is pretty, period. And I speak from an African American perspective, so I'm sorry if what I say may not relate to all of you melanated beauties around the world, but I couldn't stop thinking about this. So, if you're pretty, you're pretty. You're in the top 20% of women in the world regarding looks already. If you too have a baseline of being pretty like myself, right? Like that's your default setting. I'm talking about you woke up like this with no makeup and weave, like you a bad bitch and you know it, right? Like, why hate on another beautiful woman? Why rank yourself? Just look smacks in your beauty phenotype. And it's not to shame average or ugly women. Again, this is not to shame you. But I already talked about this in my video. Your experiences are going to be different from those who have pretty privilege. It just is. No matter if you have pretty privilege and you're an unambiguous black woman, black exotic woman, brown dark skin exotical, lighter skin exotical, honey, this conversation is spoken from um, a view of privilege, of pretty privilege. This is for genuine pretty women, not ones that fake believe themselves into being pretty but don't have the results, not ones that can't relate to any of my content or any of these other beautiful women's content on YouTube, etc., in the real world. This is not for you, because you won't really grasp it, because you're still stuck in victimhood, because of your reality is that you're not put on a pedestal. And it's not because you're conflating subjective beauty with objective beauty. It's because you lack either. And I hope that that is not harsh to say, but it's the God honest truth. What I'm also saying is to say, I realize truly that the women who run a lot of shit on social media and around the world that are in high places, that are powerful women, most of them are pretty women. They just are. Like, they're just beautiful ass women. And because we use our pretty, like, privilege to level up as beautiful women, and we get more opportunities and we take them, right? We're put in these positions. But we also have a lot of drama, trauma, insecurity in trying to be the queen bee. You don't have to be this way. That is my plea and call to all these different sectors that I've mentioned that have a foot in the black community, that are pretty ass, gorgeous ass, baddie ass women, right? Baddies for life, right? The problem that I think that all these different sectors have, is that we're looking for the hallelujah, like the main queen bee. Why does any sector have to be a main queen bee? Why can't we all just be pretty ass bitches within our different kingdoms running shit? Why must it be a, well, who has the best subjective beauty? Who's at the top with beauty? Beauty is beauty. And it's quite depressing if you literally have it, which a lot of you do, if not all of you that I'm talking about. Actually, all of you, because you have to have some form of beauty in order to actually relate to this conversation entirely the way that I'm trying to break it down. Two, you're already winning. You're the top 20% of women. You're already running shit. Why must you be so petty and so insecure to the point where you're trying to measure your beauty with someone else's? Cultivate your beauty. Look smacks your beauty. Be the best you can be, and you will have it all. You don't need to prove to another woman that you're better. You just have to be yourself and prove to yourself that you're better than the woman you were yesterday. Period. Okay? We don't have to be this way, right? We can stand up for beautiful women of all melanin shades and mixtures and admixtures, ambiguous ones and unambiguous ones, all exoticals of all shades. My content is geared toward brown cis dark skinned exoticals and exotic black women like myself who are still under the umbrella of, the brown cis dark skinned exotical community. It is what it is. However, I realize I honestly want a melanated community of pretty melanated women in general as well. If you're pretty, you're pretty. Simple. If you relate to my content, other beautiful exoticals, and even beautiful unambiguous black women content who are pretty, you're pretty. Granted, I can only talk from a brown to dark skin exotical perspective, an exotic black woman perspective, nothing else. I can empathize with both plights of unambiguous black women and exoticals, that um, get other, literally no one can understand or realize what they are. But I won't cosplay as either. I don't have to look mixed, and I don't have to look unambiguous either, or act like I am either of those things to be pretty. I can look Afrocentric and be pretty. I am Afrocentric and pretty. Afrocentric and pretty. I am ambiguous and pretty, and that's okay. I'm a unique beauty, and so are you, okay? I don't have to choose a side. I don't have to be someone who's like, oh, I have to look like an African goddess from the motherland. Or I have to look like they don't know where I'm from. Like, I don't have to do all that shit. I'm pretty. Fuck it. You're pretty, you're pretty. But you should also understand your beauty type so that you know how to switch it up and max that shit. Okay, bottom line, we all need to get rid of the house and field beauty slave mentalities. No colonization should dictate your beauty hierarchy. I don't believe in queen bees. I believe in goal squads, and I always mention this. I believe in objective beauty, and after that, it's up to opinion and preferences, which is subjective. Pretty women don't bring other pretty girls down. Beauty is abundant within the earth, but scarce within humanity. And everyone isn't pretty or benefits from lookism. But just because someone isn't objectively beautiful or subjectively beautiful doesn't mean they lack worth or are less human. They actually are very human and shine. I'm so sorry. Okay, a light on the ugliness of us pretty women. If all we have to offer after being identified as pretty is that we're more pretty than so and so, then we fail to use the power our beauty possesses, which is to empower and inspire others. And at that point, you might as well be fucking ugly, bitch. Just saying. Make no mistake, my Rosalynds, your beauty is yours to cultivate and wield however you wish. But I'd advise you, as one pretty girl to another, to not let your beauty make a fool of you. Beauty is a blessing, but can we also turn it into, sorry, but we can also turn it into a curse with vanity. And there is a thin line. So I want to add, also want to say is, yes, I'm reading from my notes because I literally thought this shit through and I wrote it down. Okay, okay, I don't care. Anyway, I'm giving this speech, y'all. But I want you to know from one pretty girl to another, okay, you can really fuck up your beauty and you can get played because of your beauty. You think you the hottest shit on the block, you're gonna get ran through. If you're making all the wrong decisions, you're gonna be a baby mama. If you're making all the wrong decisions, you're gonna botch your face. If you're overanalyzing your beauty to the point where you're just trying to one up somebody when nothing was wrong with your beauty at all, except your insecurity and your hierarchy thinking. Okay? Let's go there. Being a beautiful woman is a blessing and a curse. Beauty, I believe, is literally bestowed from Yah upon us. But some of y'all out there with your pretty face and sexy ass body, y'all be some real villains to yourselves, first and foremost. Because you're waiting over your head, kid. Little girl, go sit down. Understand the virtues that you also need, the wisdom, the intelligence you need to be paired with your beauty. Learn from wise, beautiful women. Don't learn for hot, fast ass, ready to just do whatever type of women that feel so entitled because they are pretty. I believe that beautiful women should have a certain classy arrogance where they understand their power, but should also have humility where they can be level headed and have wisdom with their beauty. Because your beauty will become vain and it will make a fool out of you and you will regret it. You can end up regretting your beauty if you make the wrong decisions, right? Mother says all this to say, I love unambiguous black women. I love exoticals. I love brown skinned, dark skinned exoticals. I love exotic black women. I want us all to soar, but we can only do that by understanding who we are, our beauty, our history, our heritage, and the future we aspire to have. None of us will get there trying to out pageant the other or the next woman. That's not how you get to the top. You get to the top by being the best bad bitch that you alone can be because you have your own throne, your own kingdom to run, and it's up to you on how you want to create that for yourself. Ultimately, you guys, ultimately, we live in a man's world, but we are women at the end of the day. We have enough foolishness on our plates, we have enough responsibility, and we have enough blame in this world as women. Women are the ones who cultivate community. Men are supposed to protect it. I put supposed because that's questionable, as we all know, because we're women at the end of the day, right? And we see the way the world is. Elijah Muhammad, so like the Prophet Elijah Muhammad from like I think the Nation of Islam, though he's controversial with some of the things he did, this is a quote that has always stuck with me. But I reference him because he's the one who said it. And I'm not Muslim, by the way. He said, "A nation rises no higher than the character of its woman." I agree with this perspective. Women make the standard, not men. Women cultivate the culture and set the tone, not men. The man is the head, but it's us women who are the neck and can turn that head around. I think of Esther from the Bible and how she was chosen by the king of her for her beauty and virtue. Beauty is what was seen first, though. And she was able to save her people because she gained favor with the king and had favor with Yah. My thing is this. If you're a beautiful woman and all you can do is try to compare yourself to other beautiful women and think you're that bitch simply because you feel like your subjective beauty is better than their objective beauty, there's a problem. You literally have so much power in your hands because you're beautiful. You can do something so impactful to change the world because people are going to listen to you because you're beautiful. Ask me how I fucking know. For both perspectives. You think I'm just talking out the side of my ass? I've been where you've been. Feeling arrogant, feeling like you got something to prove because you're so fucking insecure. Let me tell you what's really helped me to unlock my true beauty and to take my look and am taking my look to the next level. It's understanding that the only competition I have is myself. And that I am so beautiful, that I am so impactful at the same time, because this world is based off of lookism and shallowness. And there's no escaping that. And because you were giving and bestowed beauty by Yah himself, you as a beautiful woman, no matter what sector you fall into within the Black community in regards to, how I broke it down in the video again, you have so many amazing opportunities at your fingertips, so many lives you can touch, so many things you can do to help empower other beautiful women and help protect children, help persuade men or change their mindset about certain things and about beauty, and to undemonize beauty in itself and to bring humanity to beauty again. You have so many things that you can do, or at all. I don't even know if humanity had that beauty. It seems like its beauty's been perverted forever at this point, but you have so much life to give, so much love to give. And you should go for it. You should do it. You need to do it. I'm sure if you do it, your life is going to change amazingly. And you'll help other women in the world. So I want to also say, we are more than pretty faces, but remember, we can only say that statement because we do possess a pretty face. You know how people say, I'm more than just a pretty face? Well, key thing is that you have a pretty face. That's no reason you could say that you're more than just a pretty face. And let that sink in. If none of this applies to you, thank you for listening, and I hope and pray I explain my thoughts well, but this has been on my mind and my heart. And I wanted to share. You all inspire me, all of you that are women that have a foot in the Black community, and beautiful melanated women throughout the diaspora. I wanted to speak on a topic that is controversial but real. I hope this brought some things into your mind and helps you see that truly the only competition you have is yourself. And you are a queen, and so are your sisters. You're not alone. You are all loved and treasured, but it's up to you and how you wield your pretty power. There will still be divisive people that choose to ignore everything I said above and will troll me and you that understand what I've said. But I want to also mention some great YouTubers that talk about lookism, featureism, and Black self-hate in regards to the exotical and unambiguous Black women community. They also believe pretty is pretty and asks tough questions. But if you also listen to them, you'll want to level up and will think of beauty differently and healthier. These YouTubers that I'm going to shout out with this video that I see doing a lot about futurism, colorism, etc., calling out the hypocrisy with women in general, right? But within the Black community. Blunt Girly, Exoticals United, Pretty Little Reality, Ditzy Brats are the ones that stick out to me recently. And I want you guys to go check out their channels because I go to these channels to give myself clarity. Like Blunt Girly literally just posted a video about how beautiful women are nagged and called mid and then called average. But when you look around, the average woman looks like the statue in New York City. Let me not. Okay, let me not do that. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Okay, cool. But I thought that was funny as shit. But yeah, and I was just thinking like, oh, I can relate. These bitches are delusional. Ooh. Okay. Ditzy Brats, I love her so much. Oh my god, I love her so much. Um, and then I know also Brown Bunny, she talks about things like this too. She mostly drags, but I love you, Brown Bunny. Um, and Pretty Little Reality, she's such a beautiful, gorgeous woman as well. And she talks about lookism. And the reality is that lookism is literally everything. It it transcends. It is placed more than anything in the world is how you look. And Exoticals United, she's the OG. She's what I would call the Queen Exotical. But I know there's no hierarchies, but I just feel like she has such a beautiful big crown too. I mean, just her being, and this is the example I want to use too. You know how how I was talking about if all you can say is I'm prettier than so and so, then yeah, you might as well be ugly. She's someone that I feel is a great representation for beautiful lighter skin exoticals. And it's not simply because she's focused on beauty being beauty no matter what phenotype you have. It's also because she is someone who is a pretty girl, thought about her pretty experiences, thought about her plights, went online, started talking, calling out the hypocrisy within the Black community, making the Black community look at itself. Well, why do we, or why do they, why do them do these things where they try to limit exoticals of all shades and exotic women of all shades, right? And also, she believes in the beauty of unambiguous Black women. And some people tried to say that she doesn't, but I know she does because of her talking points and the way she thinks and her psychology. She's a psychological brain, and she is a beauty dissecting queen. She really makes you think about, well, what is beauty? Why do we feel that we have to be this certain way to be beautiful? But she's not delusional. She doesn't speak from a delusional standpoint because her talking points apply to all pretty women. And it transcends the different phenotypes. And that's why I love her to death. And she's a beautiful woman that said, well, God gave me this beauty basically, and I'm going to help other beautiful women. She's a great example of not wasting her beauty and using it to empower and to empower herself and others. And so I want to thank her for that. And I want to thank all these other YouTubers that I'm shining out for being beautiful women that don't have to show your face, don't have to be like me, but you can tell. Oh, they're gorgeous. You could just tell. Like I said, even if I didn't show my face, listen to the psychology, listen to the mindset, listen to the experiences, listen to the perspectives of said pretty women. And you'll see for yourself, oh, yeah, that's a bad bitch. Or you'll see, she's a poser. That's cute. But then again, what do I know? I think a whole lot. But the point is, thank you so much for listening to this. I hope everything I've said has made sense. I honestly love all these different parts of the Black sector. I do. And all these different women because you all have impacted me for the better throughout my beauty journey so far. Some questionable, right? Some of you exotic, some of you unabased Black women really be trying it with me specifically, but you're still a bad bitch. And like I said before, I've always said this, me and someone else can be like, oh, but bitch, you bad girl, you a baddie. That's what mother be on. I don't have time to sit here and lie. I have eyes. I can see just like you can. So like I said, like if she's a bad bitch, she's a bad bitch. If you pretty, you pretty. Right? And I just want to encourage all my brown cis dark skin exotic hosts, exotic Black women to understand that you, my dears, my Rosalynds, are the best of both worlds. And I am so proud of you. And I hope that this helps you understand to not have, especially if you are, in America, understand to not have, okay? Subjective beauty expectations on your objective beauty. A slave beauty mindset, whether you are the house or the field, and to not have a hierarchy, as Exoticals United would call it, beauty thinking mindset. Because that shit, that shit will have you fucked up mentally. And it will have you side-eyeing other beautiful ass women and doing the fucking most because you can't see your own beauty, even though you have it. And again, this is for pretty women that their baseline is pretty. Like that's your lowest rating is pretty, right? And you are on your level up journey like me where you're trying to become even more, right? Even more. Okay? Or you're already there. You're already at your even more, right? But the point is that this is from a privileged perspective. And I had mentioned it also, I had said that you're privileged, and that includes unambiguous Black women. If you're pretty, you already have a privilege, my dear. You don't have to be a victim. You can be a victor, and you are one if you know how to utilize your beauty and accept that shit. And again, it's a daily process for all of us within all these different sectors, right? Because the world will literally persecute us as beautiful women in general when we're the top 20%, if not higher, of women based on our looks alone. So, and then you pair it with our accomplishments. I'm just saying, we're some bad, intelligent, successful women, okay, within all these different sectors, honey. That's why we're able to convey what we think and what we have viewed in our lives and about the world and how it treats us and others like us or others are different from us. So, as I say, I have no beef with no one. I don't. I stay in my lane. I encourage my Rosalynds, and we keep it moving, just like any bad bitch would. Okay? So with that, Mother is going to say, ciao. I love you so much, my Rosalynds. I love you, unambiguous Black women. I love you, brown cis dark skin Exoticals. I love you, exotical or exotic Black women. And I love you, my lighter skin, beautiful Exoticals. I love all of you. And I want you to know that you are objectively beautiful and you are subjectively beautiful. But if someone does not subjectively think that you are it, it does not take away from the fact that you are it and that you are one of the prettiest. And that there is no hierarchy over here, at least not on my channel, in my community, that I'm creating. It's not a hierarchy for me. Because pretty is pretty. Okay? Have a nice day.